Love the Eagles as much as we do? Then hit that subscribe button and stick with us at Eagles Nest News for all the drama, updates, and hype all season long. The streets of Philadelphia lit up in green and white, but not just for the usual Eagles pride. This time, there was a different kind of buzz, a rumor swirling through the NFL grapevine that Baker Mayfield might just be making his way to the city of brotherly love. While nothing has been made official yet, the sight of Mayfield stepping off a private jet at the Philadelphia International Airport sent shockwaves through social media. Fans were quick to flood the scene, chanting "Fly Eagles Fly," as Mayfield, wearing a casual hoodie and shades, smiled and waved. No team gear, no comments to the press, just a cool, calm demeanor that only fueled the speculation. Could this really be happening? Is Mayfield, once the face of the Browns and a rejuvenated leader for the Buccaneers, the next quarterback to stir up the NFC East? Sources close to the situation claim he's been in quiet talks with Eagles execs, though the front office remains silent. But in a league where smoke often leads to fire, you've got to wonder, is this more than just a visit? Philadelphia doesn't throw a welcome like that for just anyone. Something's brewing, and it smells like a new QB era. Rumors don't just pop up out of nowhere in the NFL, especially not during training camp season, when every roster move is dissected like a Super Bowl playbook. So when videos started circulating of Baker Mayfield at a private dinner in Rittenhouse Square, sitting across from what appear to be Eagles staff members, fans and insiders alike went into overdrive. While the footage is grainy and no one's gone on record, body language experts and lip readers on the internet have already started analyzing every frame. The meeting was described as casual but serious, and while it could easily be a coincidence, few believe in coincidences this deep into August. The Eagles have long been one of the most methodical franchises in the NFL, and if Mayfield is in town, it's for a reason. With Jalen Hurts firmly established as the starter, some are wondering if the franchise is looking to bolster their quarterback depth, possibly creating a dynamic backup competition or even exploring different packages that could utilize Mayfield's mobility and experience. Either way, this isn't your average off-season rumor. It's taken on a life of its own, and with every new clip, tweet, or whisper from inside the NovaCare complex, the narrative gains momentum. Philadelphia might be on the verge of something major. Fans outside Lincoln Financial Field didn't need a press release to believe something was going on. Giant banners of Eagles stars fluttered in the summer breeze, but all eyes were on the parking lot where a sleek black SUV pulled in. Out stepped Baker Mayfield again, this time wearing a vintage Eagles cap that sent the internet into a frenzy. Was it just a fashion choice? Was it symbolic? Regardless, the message was loud and clear. Mayfield was not hiding. He looked at home, waving to a small crowd of fans before entering the facility with a grin. Some say it's all smoke and mirrors, a clever PR move to generate buzz. Others believe it's a legitimate shift in direction for the Eagles, who may be prepping for a scenario where they want an experienced option behind Hurts. Remember, the Eagles are no strangers to quarterback drama. From Wentz to Foles, Philly has always had a flair for surprising moves under center. Could Baker be the latest chapter in that saga? Those close to the team say there's definitely something different about this visit. Whether it's a courtesy call or the beginning of a new partnership, it's clear Baker's presence is turning heads in a big way. Even the media, often cautious with rumors, couldn't help but jump into the frenzy. Local sports radio hosts spent hours dissecting the footage, theorizing what a Mayfield addition could mean for the Eagles' locker room. Would he bring experience and swagger, or would it create unnecessary tension behind a franchise quarterback? Some pundits believe Baker could be exactly what the Eagles need, a proven competitor with playoff experience who isn't afraid of the spotlight. After all, Philadelphia is a city that loves its underdogs and its fighters. Mayfield, for all his ups and downs, has always been a player who thrives under pressure and never backs down from a challenge. There's speculation that this move could mirror the Nick Foles dynamic, a strong, capable backup who could step in when the stakes are high. It's not about replacing Hurts, but rather reinforcing the foundation. And with injuries always a risk in a physical league, having a second option with Baker's pedigree might just be a strategic masterstroke. Whether the deal is already done behind closed doors or still in the works, the narrative has officially taken on a life of its own. Eagles Nation is buzzing like never before. Then there's the wild card, Baker himself. Known for his fiery personality and headline-making interviews, Mayfield hasn't said a word about the Eagles' chatter, and that silence is deafening. No denials, no confirmations, just a series of cryptic social media posts, including an Instagram story of a cheesesteak and the Liberty Bell emoji. Coincidence? Not in this NFL climate. Every post is analyzed. Every like is interpreted. His agents haven't responded to press inquiries, and the Eagles' front office is notoriously tight-lipped. But this digital trail has left enough breadcrumbs to keep fans hooked. Some insiders say Mayfield's visit wasn't just exploratory, but part of a longer negotiation that began weeks ago after quiet dissatisfaction with his role in Tampa Bay. Could Baker be looking for a fresh start? A new city where he could rebrand, compete, and maybe even push for more playing time? If he wants the bright lights and passionate fans, few places fit better than Philadelphia. The story isn't confirmed, but the energy says otherwise. The calm before the storm is always the most telling. And with Baker's track record of surprising moves, no one would be shocked if he took the field in midnight green this season. What's most intriguing is how the locker room might react. Jalen Hurts has earned the respect of his teammates in the city, but the arrival, or even the rumor, of Baker Mayfield adds a twist to the preseason dynamics. Will Hurts feel threatened, or will this competition push him to another level? More importantly, can Mayfield accept a backup role, or is he eyeing something more significant down the road? Coaches love depth, but chemistry is fragile in a team chasing a Super Bowl window. Reports suggest that certain veterans have already been asked about the idea of bringing Mayfield aboard. One source said the reactions were mixed but curious. No outright objections, but also no resounding endorsements. It's a high-risk, high-reward play that could either ignite the offense or create ripples of distraction. Still, in a city like Philadelphia, where the fans are brutally honest and the media is relentless, it's not about comfort. It's about winning. And if Baker Mayfield can add even a slight edge, even a spark, the Eagles brass might decide it's worth a gamble. The whispers are growing louder, and it's starting to sound like more than just noise. There's also the marketing angle. Imagine the buzz, the jerseys, the headlines. Baker Mayfield in an Eagles uniform is a PR dream. He's a recognizable name, a polarizing figure who draws attention whether he's starting, backing up, or sitting on the bench. For a franchise that understands the power of branding as much as football, this isn't just about the depth chart. It's about the spotlight. Ticket sales could spike. National media would zero in. Even non-Eagles fans would tune in just to see what happens. Mayfield has always commanded attention, and in a city that craves drama as much as it does touchdowns, he fits the mold. Plus, think of the narratives: redemption, rivalry, unexpected alliances. It's a storyline ready for prime time. Whether it's real or just clever manipulation, the conversation alone is valuable. And that's why this rumor isn't fading. It's feeding itself, growing with every retweet, every speculative article. If this is just a smokescreen, it's one of the most convincing the league has seen in years. But if it's real, and all signs are pointing that way, then the NFC East just got a lot more interesting. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over. And finally, there's the bigger picture. The Eagles aren't just thinking about 2025, they're thinking legacy, dynasty, dominance. Depth at every position is essential, and quarterback is the most critical of all. With Jalen Hurts coming off another strong year, but taking plenty of hits along the way, the front office might be quietly planning for contingencies. Mayfield, with his mix of experience and swagger, fits that profile. He's no rookie, and he's no journeyman without skill. He's proven he can win games under pressure, even in hostile environments. If the Eagles are thinking long-term, Baker makes sense, not as a replacement, but as insurance and possibly more. There's a sense that Philadelphia isn't content to just compete. They want to dominate, to ensure that every inch of the roster is battle-tested and playoff-ready. So while nothing has been confirmed and no contracts signed, yet the writing may already be on the wall. Baker Mayfield to the Eagles might still be a rumor, but it's a rumor that refuses to die. And in the NFL, those are often the ones that turn out to be true. Part 2. Oh, it's coming, and it might just break the internet. As the rumor mill churns faster, the second wave of speculation around Baker Mayfield's potential landing in Philadelphia has taken on a whole new energy. After the initial sightings and cryptic social media hints, insiders are now reporting that Mayfield has met not only with Eagles personnel, but also with key members of the coaching staff. While official statements remain elusive, whispers suggest that a playbook was spotted on the table during one of these meetings. Yes, a real Eagles offensive playbook. Now, whether that's just a prototype used for discussion or something more serious is still up for debate. But when has a backup QB ever been given that kind of material during a casual visit? The Eagles have always played their cards close to the chest, but this feels like a deliberate leak designed to test public reaction. And judging by the fan forums, the reaction is electric. Some are skeptical, calling it a media stunt or a strategic misdirection. Others are already dreaming of 2 quarterback sets and trick plays. One thing's for sure, this is no longer just a rumor drifting through the NFL ether. It's a story with layers, momentum, and real implications for the team's trajectory this season. Even the analysts who initially brushed off the Baker to Philly chatter are now hedging their bets. In the past week, several major sports networks have quietly shifted their tone, referring to the potential signing as plausible and under evaluation. One former NFL exec suggested that this could be a chess move, not checkers, implying that the Eagles aren't just building depth, but positioning themselves for a major strategic shift. That comment alone set off waves of speculation. Is this about creating pressure on Hurts to perform? Is it about creating trade value for either quarterback later in the season? Or is it simply about ensuring the team can survive any surprise injuries during a grueling campaign? Whatever the motive, bringing in Baker Mayfield is a statement move. He's not a third-string prospect. He's not a clipboard holder. He's a former number 1 overall pick who's proven he can win on the biggest stages. And in a city like Philadelphia, where every pass is scrutinized and every snap can shift a season, the presence of someone like Mayfield changes the entire quarterback dynamic. Whether that's good or bad depends on what kind of story this team wants to tell in 2025. Behind the scenes, there's another wrinkle, one that has agents, team insiders, and even rival GMs buzzing. Baker Mayfield reportedly has a specific list of teams he's willing to join, and the Eagles are high on that list. This isn't just about football. It's about culture, branding, and legacy. Mayfield has always seen himself as more than just a player. He's a showman, a competitor, a storyline in motion. And we're better to amplify that than in Philadelphia, a city that lives and breathes football and embraces its icons with fierce loyalty. Sources suggest that Mayfield views the Eagles as an elite landing spot, one where he can both contribute and reinvent himself. It's no secret that his career has had its ups and downs, but in Philly, those kinds of players often find redemption. Remember Michael Vick? Nick Foles? The Eagles have a history of taking quarterbacks others have counted out and turning them into playoff legends. Mayfield could be next. Whether or not a deal is imminent, it's clear that this isn't just a passing idea for Baker. It's a move he seems to want. And when a player of his stature wants something this badly, the pieces often find a way to fall into place. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The locker room dynamics are still a major point of concern, but even there, the tone is starting to shift. Initial rumors of tension or resistance from within the Eagles' core players now seem overstated. According to a new report from a team-connected insider, several veterans actually reached out to Mayfield personally, welcoming him to town and expressing support. That kind of outreach doesn't happen without a coordinated signal from leadership, possibly from Hurts himself. If true, that speaks volumes about the maturity of this Eagles locker room and their collective vision for winning. Competition, when handled right, builds greatness. And with a quarterback room that could potentially include 2 fiery, talented, and driven athletes, the internal standard could reach new heights. Players feed off that kind of energy. Practices get sharper. Film sessions get more intense. The margin for error shrinks, and that's exactly the environment winning teams create. Whether Mayfield comes in as QB2, a situational weapon, or a locker room motivator, the psychological impact could be just as important as the tactical one. If there's buy-in from the team's core, and it's starting to sound like there is, this story may end in a press conference sooner than anyone expected. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay isn't saying much, but their silence is speaking volumes. Mayfield was seen clearing out his personal locker items in Florida. And while that might just be part of a routine seasonal reset, people close to the Bucs say something feels off. His name has been removed from several promotional materials, and insiders claim that informal conversations about a post-Mayfield era are already underway. That doesn't happen unless something significant is looming. If the Eagles are making a move, it's likely they're capitalizing on a very specific contract window or negotiating directly with Mayfield's camp under tight non-disclosure. And make no mistake, Baker is still under contract, which means any actual move would require either a trade, a buyout, or strategic release. The fact that the Bucs haven't publicly shut down the rumor suggests there's some fire behind the smoke. A mutual parting could be in progress behind closed doors, and Philadelphia might be ready to catch Mayfield the moment he's free. Timing in this league is everything. And with preseason games just around the corner, the urgency is growing. The Eagles may not wait much longer if they believe Mayfield can elevate their quarterback room this year. Social media, meanwhile, has become a war zone of speculation. Eagles fans are divided between those who see Mayfield as a potential asset and those who fear he'll disrupt team chemistry. But what's undeniable is the scale of the conversation. Hashtags like hashtag Baker to Philly and hashtag Fly with Mayfield have trended nationwide. Fan accounts are designing mock jerseys. Podcast hosts are devoting full episodes to the topic, and even rival fan bases are weighing in. One Cowboys fan account warned, "If the Eagles get Mayfield, we better pray Hurts stays healthy." That alone shows how Mayfield still commands respect and fear across the league. For the Eagles, that might be the edge thereafter, creating uncertainty in the minds of opponents, while also solidifying their own roster, is the type of dual benefit move championship teams make. It's not just about whether Mayfield will start or sit. It's about shifting the narrative, keeping other teams guessing, forcing defensive coordinators to prep for multiple quarterback styles. In that context, Baker Mayfield is more than a rumor. He's a weapon. And the Eagles might be ready to add him to their arsenal, turning whispers into roars by season's kickoff. Local businesses are already preparing for the possibility. From bakeries offering Mayfield muffins to sports bars reserving wall space for potential new jerseys, Philly entrepreneurs aren't waiting for confirmation. They know a hot story when they see one. Baker Mayfield sells tickets, merchandise, controversy, and hope. For a city as passionate as Philadelphia, adding a player like him isn't just a roster move, it's a cultural event. And while the NFL remains a business first, franchises know the power of public engagement. If Mayfield signs, the press conference will draw national media. The first preseason snap will be dissected like a playoff debut. That's the kind of energy most teams only dream of in August. The Eagles, already strong contenders, could use that energy to rally their base and set the tone for the season. It's rare to see this kind of buzz for a move that technically hasn't happened, but that's the Baker Mayfield effect. Love him or hate him, he moves the needle. And if that needle points toward midnight green, the entire NFL will have to adjust. This story isn't fading, it's evolving. And with every day that passes, it feels less like if and more like when. So where does it all stand? That's the million-dollar question. No official word. No contract filed. No jersey reveal yet. But the groundwork is there. The sightings, the meetings, the social signals, the team silence, the growing acceptance among players and fans. It's all part of the same puzzle. A deal like this doesn't come together overnight. It takes timing, negotiation, mutual understanding, and above all, strategic vision. And the Eagles, perhaps more than any other team right now, have shown they understand how to balance talent, chemistry, and spectacle. Adding Baker Mayfield would be a high-profile gamble, but not a reckless one. It would be calculated, layered, and potentially brilliant. Whether he's coming to challenge Hurts, back him up, or simply raise the team's intensity, Baker could very well be part of the next Eagles chapter. And if this does go down, don't say you weren't warned. The rumors didn't come from nowhere. They were the drumbeat before the storm. And now, Philadelphia stands on the edge, waiting for that one breaking news alert to light the spark. Until then, the city watches, the fans refresh, and the league listens closely. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.